It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
This looks like a nice watch, too.
Technically has some podcast history to it.
Does it?
This was given to me by Kim the Cheater.
Oh, no. God, you talked to her. We did that on this podcast, didn't we? You messaged Kim the Cheater,
I did.
Who cheated on you in, like, the booth of a Ruby Tuesday or something, wasn't it?
The busboy.
I think we take any dollar amount that's offered you today to get that out of your life for eternity.
And Kyle.
Then we set up the official Steve and Kyle podcast refreshment station, and then we have them line up, and we ask them, what was your favorite moment on the podcast? And if they can name something, we give them a snack. If not, we rip open that bag of snacks and we eat it in front of them.
I appreciate your desire to do good.
All right, well, let's do it.
But these kids suck ass, no chance.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
You ever wonder where we'd be had we just stuck with living in style?
No.
I mean, it's hard to fathom it would be like lower on the rungs. So in my head, I'm like, was that the path to riches? And somehow you and I became like probably some fashion-forward podcast where, you know, I'm not wearing a Fightin' Wiener Dog shirt and you're not wearing a Montgomery Biscuits shirt.
I had forgotten about this shirt. I got out of bed this morning and I reached into the side drawer and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Montgomery Biscuits. I haven't worn that in a long time. I forgot about it.
It's a nice looking shirt.
It is. I love it. It's like that lightweight material, perfect for summertime.
I forget who the listener was, but yes.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Apologies. No offense. Sorry.
I mean, you're not offending me, so if you're out there and you took offense, you probably got it in.
You know what you got into
under the radar.
Oh man. Now, in that intro, we were talking about that you came in here last week, and you needed my advice. Mm-hmm. You needed to know if you were handling a situation correctly. Is there an update on that? Boys. The great baseball refreshment. Mm-hmm. Problem of 2025. This was really eating you and your wife up inside.
Yeah.
Well, you basically went into private investigator mode to track down the offending family that had not signed up to bring refreshments after the baseball game for your son, your 6-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And while most reasonable people, I think, would have just said, oh, they just forgot. You and your wife decided to shame them?
No.
But just to yourselves.
Personally, yes.
Yeah, personal shame.
Interpersonal shaming is normal, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you have my full support of that.
I mean, friends, family, unknown people. Yeah. It happens.
I'm going to look you in the eye and say, hello, nice to meet you. And then as soon as I get home and my wife and I are talking, I'm going to say, you see that idiot?
Do you believe that?
You see that shirt he was wearing?
Yep. And then they get around the corner and they go, Montgomery Biscuits?
No, nobody would shame me.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, I mean...
this is a wide world example.
I'm a completely normal person that nobody could possibly say anything bad about me.
I got to tell you, therapy's doing wonders, and I'm happy for you.
Honestly, I feel like a changed person.
Because for me, I see a person and I go, oh, great. Well, they saw me without a hat on and I haven't buzzed my hair in a couple of weeks. And they're probably wondering about my that heart scar. Even though I have a shirt on, they can't see it. They're probably wondering about that. And they're wondering what that big lump on my left side is. That's the defibrillator. So then I'm like, well, do I need to go back out there and chase them down and tell them and explain that, you know, I lost my hair at a young age and then I had heart surgery. And yes, I ruptured my Achilles. And, you know, just give
it was the third pitch of the game.
So I stepped off the mound. And then they start picking up speed.
Okay, man. Cool.
Jogging away.
Yeah.
But
so you're immediately on the defensive.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay.
But yeah, Katie and I did that last week, and I still stand. I'm okay with us doing that, just because I was curious about which of the families hadn't done this. Because you're just a few years away, Steve. I think Nicky B's got, you know, he's going to be trying all these out.
All the sports.
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah. I think of the two, I think Nikki will probably be more likely to try out a team sport. I feel like
I've got news for you. There's more than 2 sports.
No, I mean the team sports.
Oh, no, that makes more sense. Between your two, okay.
Yeah, between the two of them, I think that
the two of your children.
I see. I mean, Nikki's more likely. I think Evelyn might try it out, but I feel like she's going to be more of like a maybe she'll do gymnastics or stick with ballet. The more of like the individual sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
Nikki's going to be, he's going to be the kid throwing rocks in the outfield.
Yep. Picking up dirt in the glove, sifting it through the glove.
Yep.
Dirt in your hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trust me.
Wearing the hat or wearing the glove on the head and holding the hat in the hand.
I don't know what Bath's schedule is, but when your kids play sports, it changes automatically because it's just whenever they play,
they're covered with dirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I thought about it a little more, but you're close enough that you'll see when you get there that, especially younger. Now, Reed is a little bit removed from it, just a touch this year. But years prior, it was, 10 minutes into the game, he's walking out of the dugout going, when is snack?
Right. Well, I mean, look, kids are all about the end game.
Yes. And they know what's coming. Mm-hmm. It's a drink and a snack provided by someone that's not them. So that's all they care about. So I got there to Wednesday, and that was game day. And I had put this off, the decision, because I had that little bit in me of like, do I just suck it up and do it and be the good guy here? Or do I stick to my guns, which I usually, I can't do. I hate doing that. I hate that feeling of like, there's about to be, for the last game of the season, they're all going to get their medals. They're all going to walk off the field, assuming they're going to be getting their treat or whatever.
Yeah.
And that makes my skin crawl a touch, just thinking about like, it's going to end that way.
Yeah, that they're not going to have their little treat or anything.
But we had some adverse weather in the forecast. So I was like, well, maybe these suckers are getting a delay because
getting rained out.
Maybe they'll have a few extra days to provide this snack drink because they still had not signed up on the spreadsheet that I so beautifully created, color coded, by the way.
Yeah. You have a
drop down menus included for the time slots, but then I locked those because I didn't need people adjusting.
No.
Of course, you know how it goes. I don't need swine, other than in my heart, but I don't need swine trying to change my magnum opus.
Please do not sour the name of Oinky. Oinky provided.
Yes.
Oinky gave his life so you could have yours.
Yeah, that reminds me, when we're wrapped up with this, we received a message from a listener. I'll pull up the message about an Oinky commemoration that I thought was beautiful. And yes, that was just as shocking to me as it was to you 1 second ago.
Okay.
We'll get to that. I got to Wednesday and I saw, the rain's not coming. What am I going to do? So I decided to give you a little peek behind the curtain. And I'm assuming you haven't watched this. I didn't hear from you. So I sent you a video of my solution.
Yeah.
And I think it's appropriate to play on the podcast.
Okay. So what am I seeing here? I'm seeing
that's the floor.
I'm seeing a tile floor.
And I don't want to, it's a spoiler. It's the floor of the grocery store.
Okay. All right.
All right, Steve, just a little update. It's game day. Last game day for Reed. As we talked about on the podcast, there was nobody signed up for snack. As you can see, here I am, the local grocer, because I'm a sucker. Just kidding, losers. I'm getting him one snack for just him, and I'm going to hand it to him in front of the team.
Oh, and you got a Mike and Ike's?
I didn't. I changed. I pivoted. And then I sent you a photo of what I actually got.
Oh, that was with the Starburst picture.
Yeah, I had gotten him the original box of Mike and Ike's, and then I thought, you know what? We're going to go with the shareable size of Starburst.
But not share.
Oh, those aren't getting shared.
No. Well, at least not between team members.
Right.
Maybe a little dad tax and mom tax.
Yep. And a full-size Gatorade.
So to be clear, you let the whole team of young children suffer because of your pettiness.
You're calling me petty. When I provided a snack and a treat, a delightful snack.
That's true.
And a full-size beverage.
Yeah, I take that back.
Already this season.
Take it back.
But yes, it's spiteful because these parents suck.
Have you identified them? I know that you've identified them on Facebook, but have you now seen them in person?
Oh, I think I may have mentioned, if not, Katie and I knew these people as soon as the name popped up. Okay. And it was the family with the grandfather who was yelling about 6-year-old coaches,
Gotcha.
keeping score in their own heads, thank God. And the mom with a fresh vape every week at the Little League field.
So did you pay special attention to them at the game to see if there was any kind of like, oh no, were we supposed to bring the snacks? Like that kind of last minute. Did you think, oh, maybe, okay, there's 1 inning left. Maybe they're going to run out to the car and bring the cooler over that has all the stuff in it, or the big bag?
I did, because when we got there.
Did you watch any of the game, or did you only watch this couple?
I got to tell you, and this is another spoiler alert for when you start playing, for when Nikki B starts playing. They're all ties. So there you go. Oh, hate to rip the Band-Aid off on you.
So another 0-0-12 season.
Oh no! There's yes. Yeah. It was wrapping up. Everybody made the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs. However you want to frame it, doesn't matter. So
got it. Okay.
Yeah, because we got there a few minutes later than I would have liked, and see that suspect family has a wagon.
They're the dirtbag family.
I would normally 100% agree with you if I hadn't seen like the mom walking around, her Lululemon outfit with, the fresh white snow bunny cap thing on her stocking cap. And so I don't get that impression.
Right.
But I see this wagon that has stuff in it. I'm not going to examine it. But then I also see a large pink cooler by the dugout by the time we get there. And I'm thinking,
oh, perfect.
They must have done it.
Maybe it was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
Maybe they forgot to sign up, which is what I had said last week. I would give them benefit of the doubt. Maybe the husband said he was going to sign up, thought the wife was going to sign. It was just like, oh, I thought you did it. Oh, I did it. No, sorry.
And I don't know where you land on people watching and people judging. For me, we just talked about it. Was that on air?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes we have better conversations off air than we record at the dud. So you never know how that goes. So I had taken notes on this family before I knew that they were snack suspect number 1.
Right.
I had taken
SS1.
mental no, yeah.
Boy. Yeah.
I'm going to allow it.
Okay.
I think the number 1's clear enough.
Maybe their symbol is a little lightning bolt or something.
No, I got it better. SS88, right? Is that okay to say now?
Yes.
So I had taken mental notes on them the whole season, and my favorite thing to do is to kind of slowly get Katie or other people on board with me. So I've had a theory, and this is honest to God, Steve, since week 1.
Yeah.
That this couple's headed for divorce. And I've never been...
And you can sense all of this just by watching from afar.
Wouldn't even say it's afar. Just from watching.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with this, because obviously I don't know
I'm going
these
to message
people,
her right now, because again, we know their names. I'm going to say, Steve thinks you're getting divorced.
There are, because I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you can look at a couple and just tell by the way that they interact, their body language. Right. Yeah. Okay.
This was any interaction the husband and wife had felt very, at best, it was passive aggressive. At worst, it was directly aggressive.
Okay.
This was a mom/wife who did not allow things to go unnoticed and unmentioned to spouse. But for the most part,
got it.
Unless you had seen them arrive together, you would not know they were together.
Okay.
Constantly apart, and all she would do was this last game, or the second to last game, I heard her walk past her husband, not to her husband, past, like, to pick up their small daughter, probably a year old. And I heard her say, and this is why we weren't having any more. So
do you think that they're already...
They might be in the process.
In the throes of divorce.
Maybe they're hanging... Maybe this is those, like, last... when you watch an action movie and someone's hanging off the roof, right? And it's like you see the rope, the threads are slowly splitting. Bing, bing. One or both of them know, based on how the guy's face looks, it's her. He's just, huh?
Yeah.
I combed my hair forward today. That's...
So he's basically guy in every, like, Father's Day commercial.
Yes.
Like, get dad what he really wants.
Yeah.
Like... a new grill and a hammer, and it's just a guy going, like, hitting himself in the head with a hammer, like,
this worked good. Yes, and she's mean. So they work well together because he's too dumb to know what's happening, and she can just be mean. She has an outlet to be mean to people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wedded bliss.
Has Dad cut the grass this week?
No, not the scissors, Dad. The lawnmower.
And then in the next scene, both of his hands are cut off because he thought he had to put his hands into the lawnmower.
And he's somehow doused in the gasoline that he tried to put in.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mother's Day, it's like, oh, get Mom what she really wants.
Yeah.
And it's, something wonderful and covered in lace.
Yeah, she's buying herself diamonds. And then, again, a lacy number for her affair partner, which I'm just...
Right.
Again, this is... that part's speculation. But,
Total speculation.
smoke, fire, all that
Meanwhile, Dad just wants heavy things.
A lift couch? No, we don't need to move the couch again.
Get Dad a pallet of rocks.
Struggling what to get your dad on Father's Day? Ever heard of sod?
No, Dad, don't eat it.
So this guy's a real idiot. And she's a real butthead. So again, this may be wedded bliss
perfect
on
couple.
both of their accounts.
Just think, though, at one point, he was all she thought about, and she was all that he thought about.
And then he had that brain injury, and she found the hot new coworker.
Yeah, Pasquale.
So she's got an affair, and he's got sod to munch on. So again, however you find your bliss, today and any day. But we digress.
Back to this couple.
Yeah. So it seemed acrimonious, whatever. So you are correct that maybe there had been a miscommunication prior, and the coach had in fact reached out and said, "Hey, can anybody pick this up?" or directed it right to them, and they provided. So I thought, okay, I'm glad I didn't mention the shareable starburst to Reed, because I didn't need him, walking in with those and just hammering 90 starbursts while he's playing a Little League game.
Yeah.
And two, I thought, well, I can't wait to see what this is, because now I'm thinking, well, did they just rummage their cupboards?
Yeah.
60 minutes ago. So there's like a leftover fruit snack, one granola.
Okay.
And like 4 of those, wheat cakes. You know what I mean? Like the world's crappiest grab bag.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm thinking,
like the one that you get on Halloween if you go to the dentist's
house.
Yeah.
Hey, here's your toothbrush and some sugar-free
lettuce.
You like celery stalks, kids?
Hey, kids, ants on a log. No one's ever enjoyed ants on a log.
Make sure you don't dip this celery into ranch. So it gets to the end of the game, and
it's showtime now.
It's showtime.
The pregame has ended.
Yeah.
It's time for the main event.
Yeah. And kids all run to the outfield. They always meet with the team after for like 30 seconds, and then they all got they didn't get their medals out there, but they talk and they all chant their team name, and they come in, and that's the first thing they're all looking for is where's the snack. And the head coach walks over to the cooler that he brought and provided the snack for 1 week after his father died, and he missed a game to coach. So the scumbag family lives on. No redemption arc.
No. Did they...
So I jogged back to the car, got the shareable starburst, gave him directly to Reed anyway.
Okay. In front of all the other kids?
Yes. They all got oatmeal cream pies.
Did you...
Which is, for my money, the lower rung of Little Debbie's. But again, this guy was preoccupied.
Agreed. Something, I haven't had one in a long time. I wonder if I would be... Because it sounds delicious right now.
I'm not an oatmeal guy.
No,
and the flavor. Okay. So I shouldn't say that, because oatmeal cream pie is probably one of the top 3 most popular Little Debbie snack cakes.
Very good.
But for me personally, it's give me all the cosmic fudge brownie ones they have, and then give me all the cakes that are filled with the cream in the middle. All of those ones.
In the hierarchy, it's pretty low down, but alone, you walk in the door with a one of those like long narrow boxes of oatmeal cream pies. I'm probably going to eat 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. So fall season starts, or the registration starts here next week, and I am deeply considering filling in the spot. Please don't put me with this family.
Is that a spot? Do they have that on there?
I think on some of the seasons you can request, because Reed is in kindergarten with a couple other kids who played this season. So we put all 3 of these kids, put each other's names down, and none of them got on the same teams this year.
Okay.
So which I guess can happen. So we've done that before, where we've requested a coach.
Yeah.
Because he was outstanding. And I might do that again with the coach. But then also, P.S., this family doesn't
Scumbag,
provide snacks.
Scumbag family.
Not interested. I didn't do the Lord's spreadsheet work for this scumbag.
It's all going to be in that little...
If there's a character limit, I am in trouble. I'm going to have to say, please see email coming forthwith.
Okay, hear me out. You are the one that creates the spreadsheet. So you can create your own character limit, but only for your line.
That's
Can you do that?
Oh, I can figure that out. Yeah. Listen, there's formulas for everything nowadays.
All right, well, I'm glad that we got some resolution on that. I'm glad that you handled it
Like an adult.
exactly as I thought you would.
Is that what you were about to say? Like an adult?
I'm glad that you handled it. I'll just leave it at that.
Do you think, in hindsight, I mean, you know the ending now, obviously, but, and I know I probably asked you last week, but would you have brought the snack?
I think I would have.
So would you have waited till Wednesday to see if maybe there was a late sign up on the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Would you have reached out to the coach again? Do you think I should have done that a third
I
time?
wouldn't have reached out to the coach, especially the situation he was in, where you said his father had recently passed away. It's probably, I would assume that probably wasn't very high on his list of priorities.
Yeah, you'd assume not.
Yeah, like put dad in the ground.
Right.
Probably wasn't followed by pick up oatmeal cream pies.
Right. Yeah, but he somehow made time for it.
He did.
But, Pasquale, the coworker, was a little preoccupying. And then again, munching sod was also taking up the other.
Boy, this really went on a journey, didn't it?
And I'll post this on the poll. Are Pasquale, the coworker, and munching sod too distracting? Because I think we all know the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we know the answer to that. But anyway, I noticed that I'm assuming that these stories are kind of related because you said you stopped in the candy aisle to pick up the Starburst for Reed.
Yes.
And you brought in something, and before the podcast, you set it right here on the counter. And it's, I recognize that blue and yellow from anywhere. That's the unmistakable logo of the Chuck E. C., the Charleston Chew, the very long, underrated candy, like a chocolate-covered, marshmallowy nougat type thing. How exactly would you describe it?
Oh, I describe it as artificially flavored.
Oh, perfect. Artificially flavored. But I noticed that there's a
chewy flavored nougat with a delicious chocolatey coating.
Okay. Now I noticed though that this one is not the traditional yellow wrapper, like with yellow being the primary color.
And Steve, I hate to call a spade here, but you sound real dumb.
I mean, let me just reverse that.
So this was a separate venture. We're a real candy forward household, by the way. I don't know about you guys, but I don't say no often enough to candy for me or my child.
I sure do love it. I don't think we buy it as much as we should.
Yeah. Right. Well, there's two camps. One is like, hey, you're being responsible, and you probably don't need that much candy for a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and
let them eat candy, I say.
Whereas me, this was yesterday, and fun fact about this little treat we're about to dive into, Steve, this was at the hardware store.
Oh, I know exactly what hardware store you're talking about. You're talking about the hardware store that has the candy corral that you have to go through in order to check out, and they have the best selection.
The local candy store. So this was only picked up in lieu of my stealthy 6-year-old son, who decided he was going to, while pushing the cart through the as you so deftly called it, the candy corral. He thought he was sneaking one of the shareable size bags of sour Skittles underneath the can of paint,
right?
And that we wouldn't notice.
So being 6 years old and trying to be sneaky, I'm sure it was about as subtle as if he had, broken 1,000 plates.
There was no universe where you couldn't see him put this bag of Skittles.
Did he attempt hey, Dad, look at that, and point to nothing, and then you turn around?
Boy, I really
because again, you're dumb dad in every in every Father's Day commercial.
In this situation, I'm the sod muncher.
Look, Dad, rocks.
I'll put as every dad in every dad commercial a sod muncher.
Boy, our polls are really Sod Muncher heavy this week.
Yeah, put that on the hashtags or the
Sod Muncher?
Sod Muncher or Sod, yeah. And again, I saw it. I don't care enough to say no. I those things I'm happy to provide, and but yes, like as you said, not subtle at all. So while he did that, I said, well, I'm going to take the opportunity to do it. He gets it. Why don't I? Right. So Katie now has 2 toddlers.
Yeah.
And so I
feel bad for her.
You should. You should. It's not great.
It's a tough life to live, I'm sure.
You put me to bed tonight. You put him to bed last night.
I pooped.
Sod. So I reach down and I'm looking and I see, oh boy, that's a box. Charleston Chews.
Chucky C.
Not 1 box. Not 2. 3 boxes of Charleston Chews. The original, the yellow and blue label.
Mm-hmm.
The sequel, which is chocolate. Chocolate?
Oh, is it? So the nougat is chocolate?
Yes,
I don't know if I've
that's
ever
right.
had one of them.
Next time I'm at the local hardware store.
Yeah.
You got it.
I may make it. Oh, no, I can't today. It's the Lord's Day. Of course, they're closed.
I was going to say they're not open. Are you kidding me?
Why would a store that focuses on getting weekend projects done be open on the weekend?
Yeah. You need to shut down the entire day for prayer. And this 3rd box, which I thought was, well, this is just perfect because Steve and I need to give this a whirl. So I picked up for you and I today to dig into the strawberry Charleston Chew. Now, what do you think on strawberry flavor?
I like strawberry flavor.
Okay.
But I'm not sure I'm going to like it with chocolate flavor.
And
I am a separation of fruit and chocolate person, typically. Except for the obvious chocolate-covered strawberries. I think they're fantastic.
Okay.
But yeah, with a candy...
You're looking to keep those separate. So where do you land on a gummy bear, which is... a fruit flavored. Well, that's not chocolate. You're right.
Yeah. Gummy bears, no problem.
Okay.
But if you had chocolate dipped gummy bears,
I don't find a fault in that, and that's not like a super odd thing. I think for flavor and taste.
Yeah, they're just they're separate for me. I like them both. I prefer the chocolate. If you put something chocolate or something fruity in front of me, I'm always going to go for the chocolate first.
Sure.
I'll eventually drift over to the fruit, probably once I have a stomach ache from eating too much of the chocolate.
Well, yeah, because then you got to settle it down with the fruit.
Right, yeah. I got to eat healthy.
Yeah.
It's basically a salad.
Exactly. At that point, it's a chocolate fruit salad.
Yeah, it's a salad after like the 46-ounce T-bone that I just ate because I'm dumb dad, and that's what I eat.
There's this bone supposed to be eaten?
That a tomahawk steak? Me eat that.
By the way,
I like the common theme in this episode of Dumb Father's Day Dad.
Yeah. By the way, we are always accepting exotic twists or different twists on classic candy. So if you see any at the store, whether it's a Twix, an M&M, a Charleston Chew, a Starburst, a Skittle, a Nerds Gummy Cluster.
The plethora of candy that friend of the show Trevor sent a couple of months ago, which we've finally made our way through.
The wafer ice cream cones. Listen, Trevor finds the goofiest candies. So yes, we are always accepting. If you see something unique and you think we should try it, please pass that along.
Yeah, if you wanted to send something, which obviously you don't have to do, but the P.O. box is in the description, the show notes for this week's episode.
So today, I want you. I'd like you to dig in and maybe split that Charleston Chew strawberry up, and maybe we can give that a little taste test here as we...
Oh, look at that.
That was a nice one.
That's a solid tear. That's the length of it, because this is a good, 8-9 incher?
A lot to be said about quality packaging. And the Charleston Chew really brought that home on that one. My goodness. Now I'll never understand the shape and length of a Charleston Chew. It's just... It's obnoxiously long.
It is. Now this one has split. Unfortunately, it's into. So you want to take?
I'll just take an end.
Take one of the ends. Fine. I'll take the other end.
And that is that sweet artificial strawberry color.
Artificial, you think?
Of pink.
All right.
Let's try.
So here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.
Charleston cheers.
Okay. I like the consistency. Oh, wow. We giving honest opinions?
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I don't know if it's me. Maybe I've blown out my taste bud over the years. I don't have an ounce of strawberry in my mouth right now.
I definitely taste the strawberry.
Going for round 2.
Yeah. Get a good shove it to the back, and then do the molar chew.
I'm gonna have to go to the doctor.
Oh.
I can't taste any strawberry.
Really?
Yeah. Huh.
You think maybe you could get some like oinky taste buds or something?
Can pigs taste strawberry?
Get yourself a pig tongue.
I'm gonna post on both. Can pigs taste strawberry?
Has anyone ever gotten a tongue transplant? Because I think about this a lot. What if our taste buds are completely different?
Yeah.
Like what a strawberry tastes like to me is what peanut butter tastes like to you.
Right.
But we would have no way of...
How would I describe that to you?
Exactly.
And how would you know?
I think about that all the time with colors, too. Like, is my red your green?
Right. Or even if it's close enough, but like my red is your pink.
Mm-hmm.
My blue is your gray. Something like that. And we're all just living in different worlds.
Oh.
Man.
Like, if I got an eye transplant, would I see colors completely differently?
We'd have the memories of a murderer if movies are correct. You'd have the...
Oh, yeah, true.
The visions of death.
But to get back to it, this is terrible.
You don't like it?
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I mean, I'll finish this piece, obviously.
Well, Steve, it's chocolate candy, in front of your face. Of course. Do you need a gummy cluster to wash it down?
No, I think I still have the heartburn from last week.
But that's the biggest bummer, is aging, but realizing you're aging via candy. Like, it's not jogging. It's not doing something like lifting and hurting your shoulder.
Nope.
It's having candy, and your body says, what are you doing? You think this is okay today? A nerd's gummy cluster at 10:30 in the morning? Eastern Standard Time on the Lord's Day? This is all words coming from the gummy cluster.
Sure, yeah, of course.
And the gummy cluster conglomerate. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
Well, you couldn't even taste the
I
strawberry.
couldn't taste the strawberry. It just tasted like it was just chewy chocolate.
So did it just taste like a Chuck E. C to you? Did you?
It did.
Okay.
It did. I might have to bring a Chuck E. C and then compare it like side by side. Maybe. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack. Steve?
Yes, sir.
Today,
Oh, what you got there?
I got some fresh, hot cash. That's right. It's time to put a dent in your remaining supply of Facebook Marketplace listings. As we talked last week, you were not down to the nitty gritty, but you were at 48 listings a week ago. Mostly Liquidation Station related. Some Kim the Cheater at the Ruby Tuesday related. Crossover minimal.
Yeah. Hey,
so-
Kim.
Thanks for listening. So today,
Can't imagine that's a thing. Kim, if you are listening, well, hey.
yeah, thanks.
Thanks for the content.
Thanks for the memories.
Yeah,
No, we don't like the memories.
20 years later, it still doesn't hurt.
You know what? We do appreciate the content. We don't appreciate the memories.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I can separate that.
So today, I have brought
Oh, boy.
upwards of 10 fresh dollars. And I want to scroll through those listings and see what I can walk out of here.
My listings? So you want me to pull up, like, the full...
I want the Liquidation
The full
Station
enchilada.
listings, and I want to see what type of care package I can walk out of here today
Okay.
with American dollars.
American money.
10 fresh U.S. dollars. Okay, I see I see part of the winter collection. I'm not interested.
Yeah. You don't want those winter boots. Again, these are going to be taken down,
Yeah.
put into winter or summer storage
Yeah.
to be posted again. I'm thinking October 1.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's the ideal date because that's what most people would describe as the
Start of the fall
Start
or
of the
winter
fall,
season.
yeah.
Yeah. So I see, boy, I got to tell you, the children's easel, that's tempting. That's $12. I think I could, 0 clicks on listing.
But it's also been renewed probably in the last
That's
day or
right.
two.
I do always forget about that.
I had somebody come for the pink keyboard case for iPad tablet yesterday, and then they realized that their iPad didn't fit it, even though I put the dimensions in the post. They showed up and said, come and measure it. I was like, well, I already measured it for you, but sure, feel free to waste your time.
Yeah. And while you scroll here, a kudos to you for dealing with the scourge of the earth on a daily basis.
I have dealt with America's dumbest scumbags.
No question. And I dealt with, dumb dad not more than a week ago. Okay? So we both get what's going on here.
Now remember that I'm not cutting you any deals here.
Nope.
I'm a businessman.
Yep. I get it.
Bottom line, Papa needs to make the moolah. Big Bacon Steve
That's right.
is not in it for your financial whatever.
Pallet 3.0 does not happen by cutting deals.
No, of
Okay?
course not.
This is a business first and a house second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Business first.
Yeah, exactly.
Between Second Chance Jeeps and now the liquidation station.
Yeah.
Someone should alert the IRS about what's going on in this, this property.
This is all on the up and up. This is all declared under an LLC.
Oh, that's beautiful. But I'm seeing. Can I get a nice slow scroll here? There's the space heater we talked about. I recommended a week ago. I think you should package those.
Yeah.
2 space heaters. You still got, some picture frames, an 18-month onesie.
Hold on. You skipped right over one of the prize items.
Oh, that's right.
Set of 3 dog pet blankets with paw prints.
It's not bad.
You got a pink one, a white one, looks like a gray one.
Multicolor. We've got the picture frames, some cooling racks. I've already got some of those. Otherwise, those would be, in the list of things. Au gratin baking dishes. I'm guessing those are only for potatoes because that's the only thing I know about au gratin.
I think so.
Okay. So
that's what they were labeled on the box.
So if you need 4 servings of au gratin potatoes, we've got dishes for you.
I'm your guy.
If there's anything else au gratin, I don't know what to tell you.
Another space heater.
That's what I recommended packaging last week.
Yeah.
Packaging those, because if you need 1 space heater, what does everybody say?
You need 2.
You need 2.
Yeah.
I mean, do you need to just heat 1 small space in your home?
No, you need to heat 2.
You need to heat 2 small corners, and then everybody moves to those corners.
Now, some of these things show up at, even though like this one has been sold.
Yeah, show sold, yeah.
But it won't let me delete the post for whatever reason.
No fresh clicks on that Germ Guardian air purifier replacement. That's a shame. I was hoping to get an update that would have been gone by now.
Oh, are you talking about the FLT 5000? Do you need an FLT 5000 in your life?
I can tell you. That's fresh, hot cash.
You could afford it. And
it is in the running. Okay, some bathroom dollhouse furniture. I'm going to pass on that. Okay. And now I see the first thing that's catching my eye.
Is that the women's sheer medium red blouse shirt top?
I got to tell you, I think it'll look real nice on Katie.
$3.
But I'm looking right below that, Steve. And I think I'd like you to go set aside the small alien power flying drone. Now, do you mean that's powered by aliens? Is that what you're telling me?
That's a good question, Kyle.
Sold!
I don't know the answer to it. I actually have 2 of them.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You,
Looking to make a deal? Absolutely not. In fact, if you're buying 2, that puts me out of stock. There's going to be a premium on them. So they might go
the second one's more expensive.
They might go from $3 to $6.
For now, I will stick with the 1 purchase then, as I don't want to induce out of stock premium. Because, boy, you need to avoid that. Now,
Kyle, you know what goes well with small alien power flying drone? Nothing matches like a musical carpet for baby children, toddler.
Oh, boy, you are right. So a kid just sits on that carpet and it's got music on it.
Apparently.
Doesn't play music, though, right? Does it make noise?
I think so. Yeah, we got 2 of them, too.
Oh, boy, you got doubled up on some of the crappiest crap.
There are some things that are terrible.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I see VR headset in $5, and I'm intrigued, and then I realize it's for a gaming system that I don't have.
And it's not really...
It's like where you slide the switch in.
You slide the switch into it. It's basically a headband.
Yep.
That you put your switch in.
So maybe you just pivot that to the winter collection, call it a headband.
Yep. We'll do that with the women's winter coat.
Of course. I got to tell you, got some clicks on that though. People are looking.
I know.
People are okay.
Okay. These I'm
down a little.
Sold. Sold.
I mean, I'm looking down and I'm seeing something that I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued.
What's that?
Duck fabric canvas.
Kyle, you're surrounded in this room by duck fabric canvas.
Oh, that's the.
It's our sound panels. It's the leftover.
I mean, we can't sell that, Steve, because what if we
expand.
If we need it.
Hold on. You know something? This baby's on sale today.
Oh, no.
I know that normally Sundays are the day that I bump prices up.
Sunday is price bump day. Everybody knows that.
Because I know that I knew you were coming over.
Yeah.
I knew that you had money in your pocket. So I said to Annette this morning, I said, fish on the line.
Yeah. Idiot incoming.
So watch this, baby. Going from $5 to $4. That's right. That's a
20% price
20%
reduction.
discount.
Oh, man. Okay, you know what? I'm going to file that one because I might need that.
You're in the market for some duck?
Some duck fabric? Boy, I'd never heard of that. I didn't.
Neither did I.
Okay.
Now this one, I had somebody contact me about the 2 front license plate mounts for a specific model car.
Yeah.
And they
that is
said,
very specific too, by the way.
Very specific.
Yeah,
and they said, do I have to buy them both? And I said, yes, you do.
Oh, no.
So they drove over here. Mm-hmm. Now, again, it's 2 front license plate mounts.
It's listed in the headline that it's for the front of a vehicle.
The front of a vehicle. And the person pulls up and they had the vehicle. And I said, cool. And he gets out and he said, I just want to make sure it's, matches up and everything. And he immediately starts walking to the back of the car.
Oh, God almighty.
I said, they're front license plate mounts. And he said, oh, it says in the ad that it's a set. And I said, no, it doesn't. It says 2 front license plate mounts. Oh. And he said, oh, are you sure?
Oh, good. Yeah, well, you might be wrong. And he might be right.
I said, pretty sure.
Oh, my God.
So he said, sorry. Hopped in his. I think he drove like 40 minutes.
So that was that one click on listing. And that guy absolutely regrets his time.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, I got some tools on sale
you got
too.
Some tools.
You need some tools? I sold a couple things from the.
I might have to take a look at the old tool set. I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Is there anything on there that you think that you could pitch to me for my at this point? Okay, well, oh boy, that looks like a.
You're looking at small black flower pot. I've gotten an inordinate amount of questions. I don't think I said that word right, but I got so many questions about this pot, asking whether or not it had a hole in the bottom.
Oh, okay,
like
for draining.
Hole.
Yeah. Did it?
It does not, and that seems to be what's keeping me from
Go
making.
Grab one of those tools for sale. Just put a hole in your pot for sale, and get both those things sold. For God's sake.
Can I interest you in a 26-inch Vizio TV?
Oh.
Non-smart. But it even includes the swinging wall mount.
Okay, I'm down to my last $7 at this point.
Kyle, have I got the deal for you?
You do?
Do you know somebody with a Jeep Cherokee? That's an XJ. Or a Comanche? That's an MJ. That needs a transfer case shifter for an NP231 transfer case?
Ooh, maybe. Could you give me 1 second? Can you give me just 1 second?
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, do you need a transfer case for your MJ or XJ?
You mean a transfer case shifter?
Transfer case, of course. That's the NP231. Do you need one of those for your Jeep Comanche?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I don't need one of those today.
Right.
No, thank you, sir.
All right. What about a headliner board for an 86 to 92 Comanche?
Boy, that is out of my price range, but that is a big ticket item right there for you. I mean, compared to your other big ticket item remaining is if you package 2 space heaters.
And that pretty much gets us to the end of the list because these are all posts that have already. Oh no!
Let's hold on that one.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy, that looks like a print cartridge, and I don't know if that would fit mine.
That's the old 910 XL for a Canon printer, I believe.
I have a Canon.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's one that would fit it.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to roll the dice?
Would $3 get us there?
Kyle, I specifically stated
price raised.
No deals.
Business first, I understand.
So, if you want to go home,
empty. I know, I get it.
Like pull out the couch cushions, dig through, look for some quarters, maybe go into Reed's piggy bank. By the way, I raided Evelyn's cash the other day. I needed to give somebody $1 change, and I didn't have $1. I didn't want to give him 10 dimes.
Don't look at this, daughter. You'll never forgive me as you smash Oinky the bank.
So I yell up to her, and I was like, "You got $1?" She's like, "There's one on Evelyn's desk," and you just hear Evelyn go, "No!"
As you stiff armor on the way out the door to get change. Jesus. All right,
So that brings us to the end.
Yeah, let's get back to the top there.
right.
I'm currently I'm committed for one of those alien powered drones, and I can't wait to see how alien power works. And I got to tell you, I'm trying to figure out what else I had my eye on here.
Oh, the au gratin baking dishes.
I mean, that's a lot of baking dishes.
It is,
for au gratin potatoes, and
what better way to serve au gratin potatoes?
Yeah,
than in an au gratin
in
baking
dishes.
dish.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what? Right off the top, Steve. I think I'd like to buy both those alien power drones.
Okay, now again, the first one is $3.
Of course.
Second one is how much cash?
I mean, about three left.
Second one's $6.
Oh no!
I hate to tell you.
Okay, lots of USB. That's all stuff that you found around the house.
It's already, yeah, I know. I sold them for $15. This, I love this. Plan on going to the beach this summer, Kyle?
Boy,
It's an oversized black tote bag with pocket, and it's big.
Steve, I'd like to wrap this up today.
Hold on. Let me pull up the listing. I want you to be able to see. Look at that. Look at that tote bag. Perfect for the beach.
Yeah, that is.
Look at that. It's
That's
upwards
big.
of 27 inches deep,
It is very big.
42 inches wide,
My goodness.
and there it is. See that pocket? That pocket is probably big enough to fit your phone and a map.
Sold!
So you're taking one alien power drone, again, to be determined what alien power actually is.
I mean, I thought I was financially invested for two, but I guess
Okay,
pro-
you know something? Since you're buying 3 items, I'm going to give you the deal on it.
Yes!
We have,
And that's regular price for both, right? 3 for both?
yeah, three per.
Three per, right? Three,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, 3 times 3,
So that's
or 3 plus 3 plus 3.
I got to tell you, I am one satisfied customer of Steve and Annette's liquidation station.
1,
To the
2,
tune-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
To the tune of $9.
Oh boy!
I am one happy customer today, and I'm even going home with $1.
Oh well, we can change that.
Wow. Oh, I got to tell you, I don't know who's gonna be excited, but I hope someone is. With a gigantic bag. I mean, I'd appreciate it if at some point in the next 10 minutes you could mark those out of stock. I don't need competitive offers.
Look,
at
if
this
somebody
stage.
comes by with a bigger offer,
I mean, listen, add it to the spreadsheet. That's $9 for Steve, and 2 crappy drones in a bag for Kyle.
man,
I
that's
hope the-
exciting.
I hope the 15 minutes of joy Reed gets from those is worth it before they end up on a roof. Or more likely, the trash can after like a wing's been broken off because he whipped it into a wall. I got to tell you, the listings are low and sad enough.
We're really down to the nitty gritty.
I'd like to see some movement on Palette 3.0. You know, in the next month or so.
Kyle, you and me both.
I
Did you
need
say
to.
in the next month or so?
Yeah,
Oh God, I want it gone in like 2 days.
not gone. I mean, I want to see some movement, like you buying.
Oh, okay. So you want to
Another
see
pallet.
you want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
pallet 3? I got you.
I mean, it's these type of listings that'll just will just kill the joy for liquidation station that you might have when
Yeah.
you're sitting here answering messages about bathroom dollhouse furniture, and you're like, "What am I doing?" You know, or when you've got some invalid who doesn't read front or back license plate mounts.
Yeah. That one was a bummer. That one took some of the joy out of it.
Well, he obviously, I can't believe he had to drive 40 minutes away from the sod he was eating to get here for that type of disappointment.
He was pretty disappointed, but probably not as much as me because I thought I had a sucker on the line. I thought I was making a sweet $14.
Right.
And it just got ripped right out of my hands.
I don't know if we also don't know if we talked about this on air or off air last week, because you, from an outsider's perspective, and I think everybody, it's probably normal to say, "Oh, I'm just so busy," right? Like I'm doing all these things.
Yep.
I know I say it when it's really we're just going through a day-to-day routine. It's not overly busy, but when I look at you, I think you actually are. You've undertaken a lot that would qualify you as saying, "Oh man, I'm so busy." Just this past week, you were dropping, pushing, lifting a transmission. You'd lift it up, right? You wouldn't drop it over the top.
Well, it was. It's already out. I was trying to put it back in, and
so you just added 2 more wheels to make it 4-wheel drive. Is that how that works?
pretty much, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So you were doing that.
That's a whole other story.
Well, I bet. Listen, I was waiting. I was sitting there waiting Friday.
Yeah, there's went to put the transmission in, realized the transmission that I bought 2.5 years ago had a big hole in the bottom of it.
Oh,
So,
like
a hole that wasn't supposed to be there.
do you think, was it there when you bought it and you may have just missed it in the excitement of the 2 additional wheels?
It was definitely there when I bought it, and it was somebody had just globbed a bunch of caulk, silicone sealant in it, and I didn't notice it until it was time to install it, and I thought, that's weird. That's a strange place for a big glob of silicone. Luckily, I have many welder friends, so one of them is going to take it to work with him and weld it. But yeah.
Did you think about reaching out to this clearly superb businessman who sold this to you and saying, "Hey, jerk, I know it's been 30 months, but did you know there's a hole in this thing?"
I actually thought about it, and I went back through Facebook messages to see if I could find it, but it's, I don't know, long gone.
I'd like to see this address next week. And I'd like you to just fire off one saying, "Hey, you're a total D for leaving a hole in this thing and not telling me," and then blocking and moving on.
Yeah.
So that you're doing transmission. You've got sunroom taken down that almost killed you. Again, if you forgot, he was screaming across the block for a neighbor to come over with lumber to hold up the roof that you haphazardly cut away.
Yeah, I cut 3 of the 4 supports down and then thought, well, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
You're
a Father's Day dumb dad.
I am Father's Day dumb dad.
FDDD. FDDD.
Oh, man. It's so true.
So the 2 images on Steve's FDDD card are you hanging upside down like a monkey from the rafter of your warehouse.
Yeah.
When you almost fell and smacked your head.
Yeah.
And you with 1 foot holding a deck, 1 arm like you're doing a disco pose as you're holding the roof up, screaming for Dustin with the Y across the sack to save you.
God, I'd love to argue with you, but it's all just so accurate.
Just delightful. Just delightful. But and then you add in liquidation sales, and then you told me last week, and this isn't in regards to being busy per se, that you and the fam are planning a little trip.
Yeah.
To the motherland.
Yeah.
The homeland.
A couple weeks, yeah.
Oh, it is a couple weeks. We get it.
Yeah.
By the way, let's not get too far removed from the podcast today before we discuss how we want to proceed over the next month.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Especially after the last couple days. I was like, oh, God, we got to record? What the hell?
So,
which is why we're recording right now on Nikki B's birthday.
Oh, it is.
Nikki B, turned 3 years old today.
I got to tell you, Evelyn told me when I walked in, by the way, if we could do a 180 or if we could do a post-mortem on the way your kids interact with me now. Just, what did you say, 2 years ago probably?
You have...
Well, I mean, Nikki B was, at that point 1. He was, so it's not like I was expecting him to chat me up.
No.
But
big dumb kid.
As of 2 years ago even, Evelyn, for the most part, would be reserved, shy.
Well, it was weird because with you, she went from immediately liking you for a little while to then wanting nothing to do with you.
I should talk to Katie about that then too. Wonder what phase I'm in. What's 10 years? Is that the nothing to do with you phase?
Yeah, I think so.
Dang it.
Yeah, maybe put that on the poll. Is 10 years the nothing to do with you phase?
Yeah. Oh, man. I'll text her.
Yeah, then out of nowhere, you guys are best friends.
Yes.
Nikki is now your best friend. This is one of the greatest comeback stories ever.
It's unbelievable. We used to talk about how I would come in, I'd talk to her, and I'd say, how you doing? What'd you do in daycare? Whatever. Just to try to pick her brain, and I would be lucky to get a one-word answer.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting scared when I walk in the door. I got Nicholas showing me the new train set. I've got Evelyn yelling boo. I've got Toby, jumping into my arms like he's never been loved before. It's ridiculous around here. Okay, it's like a homecoming.
Yeah.
I wish I got home to my own home
Right.
with an ounce of that affection. So, but you told me that you're planning a trip to the motherland. And I thought, oh, big radio man, Steve, he's probably got the first class or the business class tickets on call.
The private jet.
Gonna just show up to the airport when you feel like it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys want to fly today?
When's the next one to the motherland? And
Well,
a confused agent looks at you and goes, what?
Obviously, the chopper will land in the Zach
Yeah.
to pick us up to take us to the airport.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, Steve don't drive.
No.
Especially not the Jeep, because it's not drivable.
Right. Zero transmission means 0 miles being put on it.
Favorite update in the entire world over the last 5 years on this podcast is you buying the Jeep. The Jeep being useful. Like, you used the Jeep. You drove the Jeep. Like, I don't know if you use it for projects per se.
Yeah.
But it was drivable.
Yep.
And now when you do projects, it's not usable. And it's not drivable. And
Well,
you're borrowing vehicles to do these
I
projects.
got it to the point where it was drivable, and then I immediately made it not drivable.
Yeah, I'm going to post on the poll. Is Steve the only house with 3 vehicles who still needs to borrow a car? So you told me this, and I thought, oh, that'll be nice. You guys haven't been out there. When was the last time, has Nicholas ever been out there?
Yeah, he's been out there.
He's been out to Jersey?
I don't think we've been there in 2 year and a half, 2 years maybe.
Okay, so it hasn't been as long as
Been a while.
as I thought. And then you dropped what I considered a mini bomb for a family of 4, with big trench money.
Yeah, BTM.
That you're driving.
We are.
And I thought, oh no, because we have the very last long drive story for the Steve family on this podcast. And it was the...
Oh, Feces Fest 23.
I was trying to remember if it was feces or vomit. I forgot.
Well, at various points, both.
Oh, goody! I would have been correct either way.
I think the time in the car was specifically Feces Fest.
Okay. So
that was
you
when
were...
we went to Pigeon Forge. Took us 2 days to get down there. The trip down was pretty much uneventful. We did half and half. And then... Actually, no, I can't say that. Our hotel reservation got all screwed up, and it
is amazing though, and it is a very quick digression about how time removed makes these things a bit softer.
It does, yeah.
Because if you had asked me the day after our trip to Austin, Texas, I would have said that was miserable. We got our flights canceled the night before.
Yeah.
We were in separate states. And I'm not talking about just being in Texas and not Michigan. No, you were in Wisconsin. I was in Georgia on our way to Texas.
Yeah.
So, but a year removed, I'm thinking, I was explaining to Reed, I was like, no, Reed, I was in Texas last year for 2 hours. And then I flew home.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem as bad to me as you sit here remembering, quote, Feces Fest, where your hotel reservation got canceled. And this was, you may have said this was it 3 years ago?
It was 2 summers ago. So it was almost around, pretty much about this exact time 2 years ago.
So baby Nicky B.
Nicky B was, he had just turned a year. He was a year and he wasn't even 13 months at that point.
And this disaster happened. That we'll make that the flashback this week.
Yeah.
So we can recap, quote, Feces Fest.
Yeah, we got down there. It was we were getting together with my brother and his family, my sister and her family, and my mom. So there were 13 of us total staying in this. We rented this big Airbnb, and throughout the whole week that we were there, everybody got a stomach bug.
Yeah, they passed down the family line.
Oh, it was bad.
Much like traits for disease.
Pretty
Except
much.
This was an illness over the course of a week. So my question to you, because I know how I would react, but I also know that you're a gentler soul than me, as evidenced by me laughing in the stupid kids' faces instead of bringing them a treat at the Little League game this past week.
Yeah.
So you guys are 2 years removed. How does this conversation come about with you and Annette? Because I'm scarred. If I'm you, that long drive is enough for me to say that's the last road trip I'm taking with my family. And I don't mean like anywhere. I mean
I'm gonna see if
either a multi-day trip or either a one long day travel trip. Because that's an event that doesn't fade. Whether it's the smell, whether it's the sounds, or just the passage of time, right? And you realize, God, that was a long day in the car, or that was I could have been there in 2.5 hours if we had flown, but instead we had to stop overnight, whatever it may be. I mean, granted, you got that beautiful park in Carmel, which, again, you think you recommended going in the north side?
Yeah, the northwest entrance.
Northwest entrance, of course. So if you're in Carmel, Indiana today, or anytime in the near future, please go ahead and visit the northwest side of that park, which
fantastic.
Steve says is great.
Yeah, you need a park recommendation, you reach out to us. I'll give you that beautiful park recommendation.
So how does this come about again, where you decide, hey, it's time to go visit the fam? Because your mom, it's been a little bit since your mom's been out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll actually be out here in like 2 days.
Oh, nice.
So she's coming out for 4 or 5 days.
Birthday-ish stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I asked my lovely wife to come in here to discuss the trip that we're going to be taking.
Now, Annette, the question...
She already rolls her eyes.
Now,
so I'd like to hear her input on how this all came about.
Okay, because Annette, I was just telling Steve, because I had questions about this, because the last road trip event you guys took, which Steve has deemed Feces Fest, to Tennessee, would be enough to scar me from ever wanting to do a family road trip of this caliber again. Yes. So, whose idea was it to drive to the motherland for this upcoming trip?
Steve's, but both of ours, I guess.
Oh, no.
It's flying with 2 kids is just a lot of money and stuff. So.
But when you think about it, today, you're a couple weeks away from this event. You kind of changing your mind or your tune a little bit?
To driving?
Yeah. Do you wish you had instead said, let's just fork it over and be there in 3 hours?
No, just because then, so you fly, but then you have to either rent a car or get family to pick you up and then car seats. And so traveling, no matter what you're doing with young kids, is a problem. But my thought was to take 2 days to drive out and spend the day of, not make ourselves miserable for at minimum 12 hours.
I was going to say, if you go straight through, which again, that's not going to happen with children, but if you went straight through, you could be there in 12 to 13 hours, you think? Mm-hmm. Okay. So add kids, add stops, add meals, add bathroom, add I need to move, whatever. Safe to say 14 to 16 hours trip. And Steve wants to do this in just one day.
One day.
Oh,
and
God.
see, I think Evelyn would be happy as a clam as long as the iPad doesn't run out of batteries.
Uh-huh.
She can do that. Nikki loses interest and he needs to move and run around or he becomes a nightmare.
Well, yeah,
that's my concern.
That is a toddler boy. I mean, and to not much difference, a toddler girl as well, who, oh man, oh Steve, Annette,
So, we
I will be thinking of you in a couple of weeks because you're both better people than I am. I think I would consider jumping onto the turnpike just as my body if that were the option for me.
Well, because we were definitely at opposite ends of this spectrum. I just want to get in the car, boom, get there, make it happen.
It's a great idea.
And I wanted to split it up over 2 days, which I'm okay with, but we kind of compromised. We said, I just didn't want to book a hotel halfway through, the halfway point. And then we get there and we turn around to get out of the car and the kids are both asleep in the back. And I'm like, crap. Well, we could have driven for another hour or two. So we just decided we are going to get in the car and start driving. If we can make it, we're going to make it. If we decide, okay, they need to get out of this car. We've been in here too long. That's when we're going to take the next exit, find a hotel and figure it out.
See, my idea is not that we would, just book a hotel and stop.
Yep.
It's that we would plan an excursion.
Okay.
So we wouldn't just be doing this at nighttime. It's like we would find a park or what was suggested,
a cave or something that the kids may enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going here. We'll be able to do this, and then we're going to sleep in the morning.
Right.
You get to see, Grandma and Uncle Mike and the whole gang.
Right. Like we find a trampoline park or a museum or something kid-friendly, an activity, before they would be falling asleep
Yeah.
so that we can get some energy out, have some fun, and not be miserable.
Oh,
and
sure.
then, have a hotel ready for us.
But-
that was my idea.
But you're telling me Steve's hell-bent on misery.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, bye.
And I'll post that on the poll, too, is Steve hell-bent on misery? Because...
I mean, she's not completely wrong. My way of looking at it, too, is like we're going to be in New Jersey for like 4 days or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to bookend that with another 4 days of driving.
Correct. 2 each way, yes.
It would be one thing if we were going there for 3 weeks.
It's impossible to not see both sides of this. One person wants to get there. Fully understood. The other person is thinking, I want to get there, but it's going to be an awful day if we do it that way, but it's also going to take longer. And
Yeah.
I'm willing to plant my flag right now. And I'll say that this is the last time you as a family of four will drive to New Jersey. And
Really?
I don't know what
Okay.
I don't know what the straw will be. But when I check in with you, and if possible, I don't want to ask a lot. You're on it's a long drive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're the primary driver in this escapade because
Probably. Yeah.
like most people, they're probably a little bit weary of just turnpike, and it can be a bit nuts. Mm-hmm. If possible, maybe at some of your stops, maybe when you're staying for the overnight, if that happens, could you do a couple audio diaries, just 30 seconds, a minute, just check-ins, or if you want, you can call and we can maybe record it while we chat for just a minute, and so we can play it back because I want to be able to listen back with a clear brain, like a couple days later, and say, I wonder if I can hear Steve's soul draining out of his toes.
I'm confident that you'll be able to.
Like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Detroit. You're like, it's a sunny day. It's beautiful. I can see Canada. The winds are, the kids are giggling as they listen to Peppa Pig or whatever in the back seat. And then by the time you hit
Like Toledo
or Dayton, somewhere in Ohio. And
it's definitely going to be in Ohio.
you think it's Ohio. So you're making out of Michigan in high spirits. Mm-hmm. And that's a good goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're like 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Yeah. And then Dayton... Annette's got a divorce lawyer. Evelyn's screaming.
Okay, so it's going to escalate quickly between Detroit.
That's inappropriate, by the way.
Toledo.
Shouldn't have said that. Obviously, I don't mean it. But I want to be able to see if we can hear the life leave your body as you progress on the day one of this trip. Because day two is a different animal. Day two, you're like, hey, home stretch. No matter what, it's home stretch.
Day two starts with sincere apologies between me and my wife.
Yes.
Like, hey, sorry. Things got crazy yesterday.
I didn't mean that I thought your beard was dumb, Steve.
Okay. That's what it's going to go to.
For some reason, that's like an...
I didn't even hear you say...
You said that? Oh,
were you just thinking that? Have you... Okay.
Must have been under my breath. I'm willing to say I think this is the last time you guys drive out there. And I'm not saying... I just feel like you are a person who, in the post-mortem of this trip, will look back when you're considering the next one, whether it's a year, 2 years, and you guys will say, hey, not risk reward, but cost reward analysis.
Yeah.
Is it worth it to spend, when you think about it, it ends up being an extra probably $300-400 for the difference. I don't know. I might be woefully off for flights and have to ask family to drive you, pick you up, whatever. Is it worth it, or is it nicer to just have that car and, hate your family for about the combined 12 of those 14, 16 hours?
See, now what my wife doesn't know is that I've been secretly checking flight prices over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this develops.
And if it gets below there's a threshold. We all have our thresholds for something. I'm not paying $500 for that. But if it gets down to $400, you're like,
And because I'm a flight hound. I love because I always, more than actually going on vacation, I like planning vacations and thinking about vacations, and then they never happen.
Okay.
And that's probably part of why I'm probably legally depressed. But oh, that looks fun. You'll never do it, Kyle, you big sod munching idiot.
You don't deserve that. You deserve to work forever.
You're a Father's Day dumb dad.
Oh, not an FDDD.
No.
All right, can I hire you?
I was just about to ask.
Can I hire your services?
Can you text me just the dates you're going that you would be looking to fly?
Yeah.
And then tell me the airports you'd be okay flying into.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to run some stuff for you in the next day or two.
And the good thing is, we're pretty flexible.
Okay.
We got flexibility.
And then if you want to give me just a general number that you think you could pitch to Annette.
Oh, I think Annette would be fine if I said to her, "Hey, good news! I found flights, and it's only $50,000."
Hey, Annette!
She'd say, "Book it."
Hey, I'm emptying the retirement account. Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm in. I'm hired. I want to do this.
Okay.
And I would argue you'll probably have some flights in your text message by this evening.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna crunch the numbers too, and we'll see if we come up with the same thing. But ideally, I'm thinking, let's see, 4 of us. I think I could get it for like $150.
Huh. I got my work cut out for me. But you know what? And as we get out of here, I need to say that, I've done a lot of things for this podcast, but saving this family might be my calling.
Okay. All right.
Listen, I wasn't the one saying your beard was dumb under my breath.
No. You would never say such a thing.
That was your wife, possibly 2 weeks in the future. And who's he think he is with that hair?
Yeah.
He just sits there and he doesn't have to comb it a lot. Just fights that you don't know are happening.
Right.
But they're happening because you're on hour 9 and somehow your air conditioning went out between Lansing and Flint.
Yeah.
But you decided to truck through it.
We're still driving on 2 flat tires.
You're the Griswolds
Also,
now.
I got to tell you about my plan to bring my BMX bike back with
Oh,
me.
Jesus Christ. I'm putting it on the list. Well, that's going to throw a wrench into the flight, unless you're going to ride the BMX back to New Jersey.
I'm fine with keeping it there
Oh, good.
in exchange for easy travel.
I-
But again, we need direct flights.
I did not even know you had your BMX bike here.
No. I mean, it's in New Jersey,
Oh, I
and
see.
I want to bring it back to Michigan. I got to start tearing up the local skate parks. You in? You want to get some fruit boots? Skate along with me? You can ride on my pegs?
Just the FDD of ideas. Is me roller skating while you're BMXing at the local course. Course? Track?
Skate park.
Park?
Yeah, park.
God dang it, I don't fit in anywhere.
No, nope. All right. Well, I look forward to talking about this further in the coming weeks and months.
What a delightful accident. I did not anticipate this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to let this unfold, and I hope that I can save this family before the trip
I do too.
from hell takes place in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Feces Fest 2.0 coming to the Steve and Kyle podcast just weeks away. All right, we'll talk to you next week at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. See you then.
See ya.